So hi guys. So this is the recap of the weekend sports. Basically, I'm just going to run through what's happened with the previous video that should have been loaded. Um, we had a bit of a technical issue after the podcast was finished. So we didn't actually get a chance to upload it to the channel. We did do it, but there was a problem with the audio that we could fix, which is why there was no video posted on Thursday. But we're still going to do the recap show today, and then we're going to carry on as as normal from Thursday. That's basically what's happened. So we just wanted to explain about why the last video wasn't posted. So just cracking on with the show now. But we'll start with obviously the football. So the big game of the weekend was Manchester City beat Tottenham by 3-0. Fairly comfortable. It probably went how I expected it to go for Tottenham to try and defend deep. City have a lot of the ball, and that's pretty much how it panned out really. I think as soon as Spurs was doing okay until Man City scored, and then it was kind of just one-way traffic.
You did call that as well, to be fair. Obviously, so over the weekend I haven't been very well, so I haven't watched much of the sport, but I did manage to catch the highlight. I did catch Harry Kane hit the post in the first half with a free kick. I believe that wasn't too long before City got the first goal. Almost another missed penalty as well, I have to say. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, it made me laugh because Edison wanted it.
Yeah, they should have given it in.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say apparently he's really good at them. But he went past halfway line asking if he could take it, but Rodri was adamant that he was going to have it. I don't think he was best pleased when he was walking back to his goal, but as I say, luckily, skin of his teeth at winning. So I think if he would have missed that, we would have seen Edison definitely take the next one.
I mean, it's still possible with how close that one was, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, there's apparently Rodri's come out and said that he will take the next one as well because he scored. So, but as I say, I think it all depends how you're feeling during the match, isn't it? So, yeah, it panned out how I thought that it would. I think it raised questions about Jose Mourinho as well. They've gone from title chasing at the start of the season to when you watch Spurs now, they're just awful.
Yeah, it's I feel like he gets worked out pretty quick, Mourinho. Like he'll have one or two good seasons, and then people work him out pretty quick wherever he is. So
yeah, I think with Mourinho as well, whoever he's managing, like when he was at Inter and he won the treble, they were very defensive then, but it's kind of, I get the feeling he needs all these players to be all in on his idea, and if there's a couple or a handful that aren't all who believe in that tactic, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, but if you look at his time back at like Chelsea and Real Madrid, he was never that defensive. So, but ever since I think he left Real Madrid, he's been very defensive. He's a really defensive manager.
Yeah.
And I don't think it works in this day and age.
No, I tend to agree with you there. Spurs definitely on a massive slip at the moment. God knows where they're going to end up in the league at this point.
No, it's, as I say, it's they just seem to be going further down. I think Arsenal are catching up with them as well. I'll say they had a good points lead on them, so you can see how far they've slipped. But yeah, it was pretty much how I've called it on the non-audio video that we posted.
That's the unfortunate thing. I'm pretty sure you called 3-0 as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was something around that anyway.
Yeah, I said 3-0 and Spurs would defend all game and try and get us on counter-attack. So it was pretty much our fault that it would go. To be fair, um, but I mean, moving on to obviously the Man United and West Brom game. Um, Again, it was another inconsistent performance from Man United.
It's just become a staple of our season, to be honest. Obviously, like I say, I was ill, so I was asleep for the first half. So I woke up and saw we'd conceded a goal after 2 minutes, and I was like, oh, I wonder who's made a mistake this week. I don't even think I went back and watched it, to be honest. I was that embarrassed.
Yeah, I mean there was a kind of there was arguments that the goal could have been given as a foul. Um, I think he had his hand over his face pretty much to like try and win the header.
Yeah.
Um, but that I think that would have just been subjective to whoever made the decision. You could probably see is he fighting to win the header, or you could have seen it that he's all over him. It should have been a foul.
Yeah.
So it could have gone either way, to be honest. But yeah, I think you just don't know what you're going to get with Man United.
No, it's true. Like I heard even like that the equaliser was a good goal, and I didn't even go back and watch that because the rest of the game depressed me that much.
Yeah, the Man United goal was a good finish. It was forgot who crossed it in now, but it was
I think it's Luke Shaw with the assist.
yeah yeah it was a great finish, to be fair. I expected United to kick on from that and just completely take hold of the game, but I just don't know what happened. I mean,
there's no fight anymore. They just don't get up for these small games. Like, I thought we'd nicked it at the end with that Harry Maguire header, and what a save from Sam Johnston, to be honest.
yeah, I've watched. I haven't watched many West Brom games this year, but I've obviously watched when West Brom come to the Etihad and Sam Johnson pulled off 3 or 4 like excellent saves to get West Brom the draw, and he played really well at Anfield as well. And then he pulled off that save against United at Portland. He's not a bad keeper. But yeah, I thought as soon as that equaliser went in, I just thought United were going to get it by the scruff of the neck and just be one-sided, and then eventually you'd get the goal. But I think the big talking point of the game was obviously when United thought they got penalty in the second half. Harry Maguire was brought down. I think this is where VAR infuriates people.
Yeah.
Because you look at they didn't look at the offside for one.
Which he was blatantly offside as well.
Yeah, he was offside, but they didn't even check the offside, which was weird anyway. But then you can look at so if you look at the penalty that Liverpool got against Man City, where Salah felt an arm there and he threw himself to the ground. It's a blatant penalty, everyone said. But it happened to Maguire. He went down, but that one got overturned. So where's the consistency with it?
There isn't any. That's the problem, I suppose. Like, as we say, like, we can't be too aggrieved because he was about 1.5 yards offside. But
yeah, I mean, they should have definitely checked the offside anyway. Just to say we don't need to check the foul anyway. It's offside.
Exactly.
But because they've checked the foul, everyone's thinking, oh, they haven't checked the offside. So it's. I don't think that they would have checked the offside, to be honest with you.
No, it seems like poor officiating to me.
Yeah, but I think that's just. I just think the Premier League referees are getting shown up a bit, just showing how bad they are, because there's just no consistency whatsoever.
True. Well, speaking of no consistency and mistakes, Liverpool versus Leicester.
Yeah.
Leicester winning 3-1. Was it the second Leicester goal, the big mistake?
Yes.
With the raging debate, was it Kabak's fault? Was it Alisson's fault?
I don't think you can be 100% sure unless I think if the keeper's not shouted that he's coming for the ball, it's definitely the keeper's fault. But if the keeper's been shouting that he's going to come for the ball, but the defender's still gone for it, it's
Yeah.
probably the defender's fault. But it was a horrific mistake.
It was terrible.
I think we both called that Leicester would win as well, didn't we?
Yeah, I definitely called the Leicester win. I think
I said 2-1.
I said 2-0 to be honest.
Yeah. But again, conceded 3 goals in 7 minutes. They just, as soon as that first goal went in, they just capitulated.
Yeah, just went to absolute shit.
Pretty much, yeah. There was controversy about Leicester equaliser.
Again, I didn't. I saw the mistake, and that was it.
Yeah, when the free kick came in, it was kind of one of them things where the ball's gone straight in from the free kick.
Yeah.
Someone stuck the foot out to go for it, but missed it. So therefore, he's interfering with play because he's
Right,
intentionally gone for it. So the goal got chalked off. VAR got involved, and then they started obviously getting the lines out. And then it looked like, I think it was Firmino's back foot.
Oh, that's right. I did see something about like they used the line on the shadow of his boot instead of his boot, his actual boot or something.
Yeah, I've seen it live, but I've not watched it back. So I've seen everyone say they've done the line on the shadow of his boot and not his actual boot.
Yeah.
But the rule that onside and the goal stood. But again, but they have to check whether the foul was inside or outside the box anyway, and the game was stopped for a good 5 minutes, I'd say, whilst they were checking stuff. And so I'd probably have to watch that back to see if it was the shadow of the boot. They did show it quite quick on like TV wise. So I think the Man United game and the Liverpool game was the big talking points was the VAR decisions in the games.
Seems to be at least one every weekend, doesn't there, to be fair?
Yeah, I think Liverpool were complaining with the second goal as well, saying that Mane was fouled during the build-up. Not for me, but it's always going to be subjective.
Exactly.
Decisions. So for me, it wasn't a foul, but some people have seen it different. But I think the weekend, apart from the United result, I thought United would beat West Brom. It pretty much panned out the way I thought it would, to be fair.
Yeah, looking at the results, it did seem like everyone you kind of would expect to won, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So
I just want to, just before we move on from football, just as we're recording this now, Liverpool are beating RB Leipzig 2-0 in Hungary. It's at neutral ground. And PSG have just scored a third goal against Barcelona
so
at the Nou Camp.
3-1.
So that's 3-1 at the Nou Camp. So they look like they're pretty much flying through, to be honest. Barcelona aren't that good now, and I can't see them going to Paris and scoring at least 3. So
we say this, but let's go back a couple of years to when they were 5-1 down, was it, or something, and came back.
I just don't think Barcelona are that good anymore.
Yeah, they're not the same team, to be fair. Yeah.
No, but I just thought I'd just throw in that update.
That's fair enough. Alright, so on to Saturday, another event that I sadly missed due to illness, but I did manage to catch up with the results, and I managed to rewatch the main event was UFC 258. So a couple of things happening in that one. The Jim Miller Bobby Green fight was cancelled due to Bobby Green collapsing after weighing in. So I believe the Ricky Simone and can't remember his name. I've got it up here. Let me double check.
You might have some blank
Brian Kelleher. So that fight was moved onto the main card.
Yeah, I like watching him fight. He's very high paced, isn't he?
Yeah, Brian Kelleher is one of those fun guys that, you know, he goes out for the knockout every time.
Yeah. I mean, apart from the main event, it wasn't that enjoyable to watch.
there's a lot of decisions. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, it wasn't that. I thought there'd be better fights than they actually were.
I'm very
Um.
surprised to see a submission in the first fight of the main card. I'll be honest.
mm, It was. Yeah. It was. It should. In my opinion, anyway, it should have been the fights that were on offer. It should have been a lot better,
Yeah.
personally.
So I'll just run through the card and then we'll discuss the main event slightly because like I
Yes.
say, didn't catch much of it. But Julian Marquez defeated Maki Patolo round 3, 4 minutes and 17 seconds by submission. Did you catch that one? What was the submission?
Um.
It doesn't tell
Mine's
me on
gone
this thing
blank.
that I'm looking at.
No, I
Anyway,
mean, mine's gone completely blank. It was early, early hours, wasn't it?
yeah,
So
it's very early hours. So Ricky Simon beating Brian Kelleher by decision.
yeah,
Kelvin Gastelum wins by decision. First win in 3 years. I think we were looking at last time.
yeah. I didn't think he would. That's the one that I didn't think that he would win, but he was. He looked very good.
Yeah. And then Alexa Grasso beating Macy Barber by decision. So that's 2 losses in a row now for Macy Barber after an 8-0 start.
Yeah.
And then the main event. So Kamara Usman versus Gilbert Burns. For my money, a really good fight, to be honest. Both went in there with, thrown with bad intentions. It looked like Gilbert Burns actually really, really hurt Usman in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit worried that he might finish him off there.
I thought he had him.
Yeah. And then
It was a cracking shot.
oh, it was a hell of a shot. And then in the second, it just seemed like Usman just turned it up a gear, and that jab was just damaging. Like, that absolute piston was just firing all night. And then finally gets him out there after 34 seconds of the third round, and calls out Jorge for round 2. To be honest, that's a real something I think we all want to see. To be honest.
Yeah, I think he wasn't happy with Jorge. He sent a tweet out, didn't he, saying he basically beat him. He beat him on decision on 6 days' notice.
Yeah.
Give me 2 weeks, and what did he say? Give me 2 weeks. I will take your head. Give me 2 months.
I'll take everything.
I'll take your soul or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that was a reaction of what he said, but I'd watch it, definitely.
Yeah, I was reading before. I obviously you'd sent me the link, but I was reading a bit more in depth before on the train. That they're now in talks to secure them two to be the coaches for the next series of The Ultimate Fighter. So that could be really fun.
Yeah, I think they threw out some good ideas about the tough coaches. I think initially they wanted. I think if McGregor beat Poirier, they wanted McGregor and Khabib to be the 2 coaches.
Yeah.
But Khabib was having none of it. He wanted no part of that. He said he won't be able to be around him for that long.
He said something like you couldn't even pay him 100 million to do it or something.
Yeah, he was having none of it. I think the next talk was Usman and Colby. I think.
No, wasn't it Jorge Colby for
Jorge
like number
Colby,
1?
Yeah. And then with Usman saying that about Jorge, apparently that's now in the pipeline. Usman and which would be fun.
I'll watch it.
To keep them around each other for a long period would be fun.
Definitely.
But that's I'll be interested in that. Yeah, definitely. I think there's I think the winner of Usman and Jorge will most probably fight the winner of Leon Edwards and Chimaev.
Have they not cancelled that fight now? I'm sure Dana said something about cancelling that fight.
I think it was meant to be a few months ago, but it was I think Leon Edwards got COVID, didn't he?
Yeah, but I'm sure Dana come out recently and said something about it being on the rocks again. It might not have been actually cancelled, but close to being cancelled because um, apparently Colby said, "Well, I'm not fighting Leon Edwards," and then Jorge said, "That's because you're a bitch and you're actually scared of him." So there's been a lot of back and forth in that division, to be honest.
I'm not. I haven't heard that. To be fair, as far as I know, it's still on right now.
Yeah,
I think. I think Dana really likes that. Chimaev, doesn't he?
yeah,
So I think if both of those fights go ahead, I think that's what I reckon that's what his plan is for that to happen. So
yeah. They're
um,
still slated in for March the 13th, so it's not. Oh wait, although it does say 5 days ago, Dana White confirms Leon Edwards' Khamzat Chimaev has been scrapped again. I don't know what to believe anymore.
no, I don't think it's been officially cancelled or anything yet.
No. Oh, apparently Chimaev's still suffering from the physical effects of COVID as well, so it might be being rearranged again. Guess
But we'll
see.
see in
Yeah,
the next
exactly.
few weeks maybe. So we'll give that away for another show.
Definitely. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, the Usman and Burns fight was really really good. I say I thought Burns had him in the first, and then Usman came out then the second and third and just pretty much destroyed him.
That champ
Um,
mentality, isn't it?
yeah, he's, he's good, isn't he? So I'll be looking forward to the Usman Jorge fight if that gets made.
Yeah, that. To be honest, Burns was like the last person I saw as a threat to Usman. Like I don't see him having a problem with anybody else in that division.
No, I think if he fights Jorge, I think he just wrestles him.
That's all he needs to do, to be honest. Although then
Yeah.
again, recently he's a lot less like he's a lot more reluctant to wrestle because he wants to show that he's got that stand up stuff. So I think he would mix a bit of that in, you know. But I just don't see anyone in that division beating him, to be honest.
No, I don't. To be fair, I really like Masvidal as well, but I can't see him beating Usman, to be honest.
No, I don't either.
But I say going from people I didn't think would lose, um, Josh Warrington got brutally knocked down.
Aye,
Um,
indeed.
that was probably the most shocking thing of the weekend. I expected Warrington to walk through him really.
Yeah, I think he was quite a heavy favourite, and yeah, Mauricio Lara, a name that I suppose only the hardcores had heard of.
I think
Yeah,
he's about 23, 24 as well. He's really young. Um, but yeah, he absolutely obliterated him.
yeah, I believe he dropped him a couple of times before he knocked him out as well, didn't he?
Yeah, there was a few. I think it was Adam Booth after the fight and Johnny Nelson that were saying if Warrington wasn't British, the fight would have been stopped
Yeah,
early. Then obviously when it was stopped because he was getting walloped.
yeah,
He
ninth.
was he already got dropped anyway, and he was just taking heavy punches.
Yeah, there was
But
no
you've
need
got
to
to,
take the
you know,
punishment.
that's what I mean. You've got to agree with what they've said because if that's Warrington doing it to him, the fight probably does get stopped a lot earlier than what it did, and then he doesn't suffer a brutal knockout like he did. So
Yeah, broke his
um,
jaw as well.
yeah, I mean, he didn't fight for 18 months. Maybe some inactivity,
Could have lent its hand. Yeah,
could have, but it was so one sided.
yeah,
It was unreal.
yeah. Ninth round KO in the end for that one.
Mhm.
Okay, so to wrap up the other sports, Six Nations Rugby this weekend. We had England, Italy. I believe England took that one comfortably.
Yeah, you fully expect it against Italy. They're not.
Yeah.
like we said, they're pretty much the whipping boys. Every time Six Nations comes around.
Yeah.
I think they made hard work of it first half. So they come out and just steamrolled in the second half. They don't really look 100% yet, England. So the big game against Wales next.
That's true.
Fully expect them to be up for that. If they can't get up for that, then what can they get up for?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and Wales are going to come into that one with a bit of momentum. I believe they had a pretty solid second half comeback against Scotland to win their game.
Yeah, that was with the way Scotland dealt with England, I would say it was a pretty impressive win by Wales, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think I said it'd be close.
Yeah, you did say it'd be a close.
Which it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. I think I said it'd be close, and it could go 50-50. So yeah, good win for Wales though.
Yeah. And then, obviously, last but not least, Ireland and France. France taking a close game against Ireland.
Yeah, I think I picked Ireland in that, to be fair. I think.
Yeah, casting back, I think so.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't expect that, to be honest. The French are a good side. I just thought, with it being in Ireland as well, I thought Ireland would have beat them. So that was a bit of a not surprise result, but one that I didn't see happening. So yeah, I think they're on a bit of a wobble as well, Ireland. So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back.
Yeah.
But I'd say the game of the day will be England Wales.
Yeah, I think that's the one that'll have most eyes on it. Okay, so last topic, just to wrap up. England versus India, the second test, obviously started on Saturday and it's already finished. India winning by 317 runs, and just blew us out the water. The second innings for England, the Indian spinners took all 10 of the wickets, to under 200 scores, pretty poor. And I heard a lot of talk about the pitch being pretty bad, but then Joe Root's come out and said the pitch wasn't the reason we lost because they had to play on it too. So
yeah, I mean, again, I think we called it. We said England won the first test. India don't lose very often, and we pretty much predicted that they were going to come out all guns blazing, which they did. I probably didn't expect them to win as emphatically as they did, but yeah, I probably expected. I would have been surprised if they wouldn't have come out because, as I say, they don't lose at home very often. They're a very proud nation, aren't they? So I think they would have took that pretty bad the first test. So
yeah.
I think I was reading to say that people were speaking about Joe Root's rotation policy.
Yeah, we discussed it a little bit, didn't we, on the podcast that never was. They rested some key players, and obviously can't think of his name. Archer was injured in the first game as well, so
yeah,
it was an interesting one. Like you say, they don't lose often. That defeat in the first test was only the second defeat in 8 years in India, so to be expected. But as you say, not that way.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where if you are going to rotate in whatever sport, not just cricket, it can happen in football, rugby, any team sport. If you rotate and you win, you're a tactical genius. But if you lose, everyone's why have you rotated? Why have you done this? Why have you done that?
Yeah.
So it was one of them. It was either going to go one or two ways, and that's just how it is. But as I say, we predicted that India were going to come back strong.
Definitely.
I just don't think we thought it'd be that strong.
Well, no. It'd be interesting to see how the third test goes, to be honest. But obviously, that's one for another day. That's all the topics I've got on my list. I don't know if there was anything else that needed covering for this weekend.
Not that I know of. I think that was all the everything we said we were going to speak on anyway.
Yeah, I saw Jake Paul got a black eye in sparring. That was about it. Says he might need some facial surgery.
Hopefully.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that's broke or anything like that. So, I mean, just to let you know, PSG are now 4-1 up
Oh Jesus!
at the new camp. It's coming up now to like the 90th minute. So Liverpool still 2-0 in Hungary, and PSG are 4-1.
Wow.
In Barcelona.
That could be game over already in that one.
Yeah. That'll probably raise questions about Messi again as well.
As it always does, yeah, true.
Whether he stays or wherever he goes or whatnot, but
he might go PSG.
You never know. They're apparently one of the teams that won him, isn't it? But
yeah,
that's probably another debate for another day. But I think what we'll do, we'll obviously look forward to the games on. Well, so we'll do another video on Thursday. Look forward to the games on the weekend.
Yeah.
I know that Manchester City play Arsenal. I know that they play Everton tomorrow. Of course, we haven't had time to obviously preview that.
Yeah.
So we'll probably go over that game when we do the predictions and stuff for the weekends.
Definitely.
They can stretch, if they win tomorrow, they can stretch the lead over United to 10 points. So that was, I think I said previously, if they've had a tough run of fixtures, if they can get through all them and still have that large lead, I think it's pretty much over.
I definitely agree with you there, yeah.
So, I think to see, you've got Everton, Arsenal, West Ham and Man United in the next few games. So after that, I think after the United game, if the lead's still double digits, I think it's definitely over.
Oh yeah. I mean, I personally think it's over now, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I would say it's over now, but I don't know. For me, being obviously a Man City fan, it's great, but obviously if you're watching it as neutral, you don't want a team to obviously go away and just walk it.
Yeah.
So, but as I say, we'll see what the point difference is after the game at the Etihad with City United. But as I say, we'll obviously preview the rugby as well. I'm not too sure. Is there any UFC on?
I think there's a fight night. I think it's Blades Lewis.
David Lewis,
yeah.
Yeah. But, well, I said we'll go through the UFC cards and see if there's any boxing news again.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see if there's any breakthrough there. But I said we'll do another video definitely on Thursday and then again on Monday.
Awesome. Right. Thanks for watching, guys. As we tend to, I think we remember now. Like, comment, subscribe, share it about, and that'll do it. Bye.